everybody! Oh my god, I forgot to do my intro, so I'm gonna do it right now, okay? Ready? Here we go. Hey everybody, it's Naya. Welcome back to Naya Reads and Smiles. Hey guys! Okay, so today I'm doing a daily reading vlog. This is my very first reading vlog in my new apartment. I apologize, I'm still kind of working on the angles in here, so you're gonna see my kitchen today. Shelves to the left, kitchen to the back. No, but my desk is actually like facing the window, so I get really nice light this way, but you also see my kitchen. So yeah, we're gonna work on it. So excited. I just got off of work, so I apologize if I'm looking a little rough, but we're making it work. I have been dying to do a reading vlog. I decided I'm gonna start doing it daily vlogs again. I remember during like booktubeathon or something, I did a vlog every day, and it was so fun because you guys like get to see realistically how much I read every day, as well as just like my daily shenanigans. I am just about finished moving everything into my new little studio here. I did, oh my god, you guys, last night at 2 in the morning, I ordered a couch. I ordered my first couch. It was super cheap, thank God. So it should be here within like a week. This bare wall is where I'm gonna put my couch, and I'm so excited because it's so cute. And my sister was like laughing at me because she's like, did you buy, I'm not gonna tell you the color, but it's a very bright, bold color. And I love it. Like honestly, the best thing about having my own space now is just being able to like fill it with things that I love. Like this awesome chair that looks like a shell, and it's so cool. First things first, I have to update you on all the books I've been reading. I'm gonna title this video like the book of endings because I'm currently finishing the last book in 2 amazing series that I love, and I don't recommend finishing 2-book series, or actually I'm about to finish a 3-book series. I'm about to start Imagine Me, which is the last book in my favorite series of all time. We'll get to that in my next video because I'm not ready. My sister's here and she is gonna drive me to Target so that I can pick up 2 books that just came out. The new Hunger Games book just came out. It's called A Ballad of Songbirds. There's birds in the title, as well as Aurora Burning, which is the second book to Aurora Burning, which is a really awesome sci-fi book that I read last year. Yeah, the second book is out in this one. Also, Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman wrote this one, and I'm actually reading a book by Jay Kristoff right now, which is a perfect segue into what I am currently reading. Who is texting me? Oh my god, my sister is texting me as I'm filming this saying she's on her way. Okay, I have 10 minutes to quickly tell you guys what I've been reading, and then we're gonna go to Target and get those 2 new books. I'm so behind. I'm so behind. We're not going to talk about how everyone's read this book except for me and maybe you. Dark Dawn by Jay Kristoff. This is the 3rd book in the Nevernight series. You guys, I forgot how much I missed just like this whole Nevernight world. The Nevernight series follows our main character Mia, and she is training to become an assassin, and that's all you need to know. It is very, very graphic. It is 100% rated R. It has been several months, I think almost a full year, since I've read God's Grave, which is the 2nd book, so I was really worried about not remembering everything that happened in that book, but luckily Jay Kristoff is amazing, and he basically does a whole recap at the beginning of the book. Like how you watch like Vampire Diaries or like Teen Wolf, or like, you know, like those like teen shows, they'll do like a full recap of everything that happened in the previous episode, so you can kind of just like pick up from anywhere. Yes, okay, listen, I know I'm 21, but I still love Teen Wolf and Vampire Diaries, okay? It's like my go-to reference show. Anyways, we're getting sidetracked. I feel like I'm too early into this book to give a rating, but based off the first 100 pages, it's amazing. I think it's even faster of a pace than the last 2 books. The 2nd book that I am currently reading, you guys, I don't even think I talked about this. Hold on, I'm gonna have to grab. For the past month, or actually like the past 3 weeks, I have been reading the Golden Compass series by Philip Pullman. If you don't know what the Golden Compass series is, it's okay. I didn't know about it either. The Golden Compass, you may have heard of the movie because there was a movie adaptation, and let me just say, it doesn't even begin at all to grasp the sheer amazingness of the Golden Compass series. I can't can't even believe this falls under middle grade or YA, because by the time you get to the last book, which is what I'm on, it's called The Amber Spyglass, it is so sci-fi heavy, or like so science fiction heavy and so philosophical. Kind of give you like an elevator summary of the first book, because this plot expands so much beyond what I'm about to say. Following our main character who is living in this world that is parallel to our own, and that is a big thing about this whole series, is that it takes place in multiple worlds or parallel worlds to this one. I want to say like a multiverse, but also the worlds are so similar that it's more just like a bunch of different parallel worlds. It's freaking amazing, okay? I don't want to spoil it, but just know that the first book is kind of this simple plot of we're following this girl who's 12 years old, and she's an orphan, and she's given this device called an althometer that can tell the truth. So you can ask it something and it has all these little dials and pictures and it'll tell you the truth. And she is on this kind of journey to bring this device to her uncle who is in the Arctic, and he's being held prisoner. That's kind of like the basic plot line, and that's why it's called the Golden Compass, or I believe it was originally called the Northern Lights. The uncle is being held prisoner, which this isn't a spoiler, it's told in the synopsis, but he's being held prisoner because he took a photo of the Northern Lights, and within that photo it shows the outline of a city, and that city is a parallel world. This series blew my mind, okay? Like, I don't want to tell you too much, because one of the most amazing aspects about this whole book is like it gets so big, the worlds get so big, and the plot gets so big, and it gets so intricate. This first book we're only following our main character, but in the last book we're following a bunch of different characters. I'm gonna stop here with the synopsis. Just read this series. About 200 pages into the last book in that series, and my sister is 5 minutes away, so we have to hurry and get through these two. Next book I have here is Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Powers. I only have like 50 pages left of this book, and this is Rory's newest book. She wrote Wilder Girls. This one is like a thriller mystery kind of book, and we're following our main character who she grew up not knowing anything about her family. Her mother kind of ran away from her family for some mysterious reason, and kept the daughter really isolated and separated from just who she is and who her past is. Our main character ends up discovering this photograph with an address, which is the name of the town that her mom grew up in. So she goes on this journey to figure out where her mom came from, and slowly throughout the book you realize why the mom left and why the mom totally severed ties with the family, and it gets, yeah, the plot thickens. It got pretty creepy. Like the whole first half of the book, it was pretty ominous. Like the one thing about Rory Powers' writing is that it's not super detailed, so it leaves a lot to the imagination. I still think I like Wilder Girls more than this book, but then again, Wilder Girls was more sci-fi. Okay, the last book here, I am only 20 pages into, so I really can't say much more than the basic plot. The Boyfriend Project by Farah Roshan. This is a romantic comedy. I had to have one kind of light book. I'm reading so many dark, heavy, death books right now that I wanted something like a palate cleanser. This book, essentially we're following our main character who was catfished by a man who was also seeing 2 other girls. All 3 of the girls that were catfished by this guy end up kind of teaming up together and becoming friends after they catch the guy dating all of them. It's about a guy who's like just a player and was dating 3 girls at the same time, and all 3 girls end up realizing what happened because of Twitter. There was like a whole Twitter thing that happened, and that's how they were able to discover this guy was cheating. Right now, that is where I'm at in the book. The girls have just met and they had like a giant sleepover after they dumped the guy as a group. They group dumped him. Group dumping someone. Oh my god, that sounds so bad. Yeah, that's where I'm at in this book. It's really funny, very fast paced. My sister is texting me that she is downstairs, so we are gonna go head to Target, get those books, come back, and hopefully maybe finish one of these guys today. That's like my reading goal for today, is just to finish. Probably Dark Dawn is the one I'm most like desperate to finish. I'm just like, I need to know what happens. I need to finish the series and just get it over with. You guys, Nania, stop taking selfies. Ah, look who's here. We're back, you guys. I was able to get, hold on. Dun dun dun. She didn't even notice I fell. It's fine. Da-da, 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 da-da.
It's not that exciting.
So I'm
leaving.
Wait, you're Okay, hold on, real quick. I got the book, you guys. I found it. Okay, I wasn't able to find Aurora Burning, unfortunately. The Target we went to didn't have it, and the bookstores are still closed, unfortunately, in my area. So I couldn't pick it up, which means I'm gonna have to order it on Amazon, which is fine, but I just wanted to like go and get it in person. Welcome to my kitchen. I am putting away groceries, and I figured while I was putting away groceries, I forgot to mention that I ordered something that recently came in the mail, and I'm so excited. So I have the Chaos Walking series. This is the Chaos Walking series by Patrick Ness. I ordered the paperback box set because I listened to the entire audiobook of this series. If you guys remember, I made a video called like my top 5 favorite audiobooks or something like that. But last year I read the Chaos Walking series. I listened to all of the audiobooks back to back to back over the span of like 2 weeks, I think. It was amazing. It is to this day one of my favorite sci-fi series of all time. I don't really know if it's sci-fi. I think it kind of falls under dystopian a little bit too. Chaos Walking, if you haven't read it, listen to the audiobook, okay? I recommend the audiobook over everything else because it's just so incredible. The narration, it just makes you feel like the characters are talking to you. It's fantastic. I cried so hard at the end of the series. Find a place to put these books on my shelves back here, even though they're pretty much like full to capacity. I have a little bit of space at the end of this shelf over here. You guys, I feel like a little old lady with my socks and my booties and my coffee and my vitamin smoothie. It's not even noon yet, and I'm happy to say I completely cleaned my apartment. I wiped down all my bookshelves this morning, which is something that I've had to start doing just because I noticed that dust kind of collects, or at least it's noticeably collected on the glass because all the shelves are glass. Every weekend I go in and wipe everything down, mop my floors, vacuum my rug, take a nice hot shower, put on my little booty socks because my feet get cold so quick. Now I can relax with a little bit of murder. Oh my god, I am so ready to get back into this book, you guys. I'm gonna finish it today. I got all my chores done, so I can just relax and finish Dark Dawn. Hey guys! Okay, so, oh my god. I don't think I have ever filmed a video without any makeup on, and I'm trying not to like be insecure right now. Oh my god, okay, stop, Naya. I told myself I'm leaving all insecurities in 2019, so hi. I don't have any makeup on, please be kind. Since January I've been doing an entirely new skincare regime, so I actually feel like semi-comfortable on camera now without any makeup because I feel like my skin's in a good place, but it's still yeah, I don't sleep much, so if there's dark circles and stuff, bear with me here. I'm halfway through Dark Dawn by J. Kristoff, and I just have to say this is turning out to be one of those books where death just really isn't a thing anymore. Like, you guys know how in okay, I'm gonna reference Vampire Diaries again. They just kept bringing people back from the dead. Like, I'm not like, this isn't a spoiler or anything. In Vampire Diaries, it got to a point, like I think in like season 3 or 4, where someone would die and it wouldn't even have the same impact anymore because you're like, they're probably gonna come back to life some way, some shape or form. That's kind of how I'm feeling about Dark Dawn. There are certain characters that have come back I like to use the Fenty foundation. This is her moisturizing foundation. I tried her matte foundation, but I have really dry skin, so it just like dries the heck out of my skin. Here's a swatch of the makeup, but I just like to try and do this in the viewfinder, but I'm gonna show you guys the difference, okay? So this is just one layer of the foundation. Oh my god, you guys. I swear this foundation was too light for me just like 3 months ago, but also I haven't been in the sun since summer of last year, I kid you not. So if I'm looking a little light, that is why. So this is foundation, no foundation, foundation, no foundation. So I have foundation on half of my face now, this half here. So it's super light and like really glowy, which I like. Really, you don't need a lot. It just a little goes a long way, which is awesome. I don't know why, like I feel like everyone has dark circles. Like I don't know, I have yet to meet someone who gets a full like 8 hours of sleep a night. And I'm like so insecure about like my under eye circles, but then I feel like almost everyone has them. So it's really nothing to be like insecure about. I don't know. Okay, I'm not gonna I'm trying to be like more, my sister says I should be more open in my videos, so I'm trying. Like I don't want to say like we should normalize not getting enough sleep, because you know you should take care of yourself, get enough sleep, but also I work a lot, so I'm just, yeah. Foundation is done. I just feel like, I don't know, like the one thing I love about Fenty makeup is it's so light, so I don't feel like it's just like my face is just packed with makeup. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, I get a lot of questions about my eyebrows. My eyebrows are shadowed, which is kind of like microblading. If you guys don't know what microblading is, it's semi-permanent tattoo. So my eyebrows do not naturally look like this. I got them done, I think like 2 or 3 years ago. I got it as a birthday present to myself. I have really sparse eyebrows, so I always wanted to get my eyebrows microbladed. But when I went there, the lady who was originally from Korea, she's like professional, like she went to school to learn how to semi-tattoo eyebrows, but she recommended that I actually get mine shadowed, which is kind of like it almost gives like a makeup effect, so it looks like your eyebrows are filled in, and it's instead of doing lines, it's like little dots. So it looks really natural, and I absolutely love it. It's probably one of like the best decisions I made. I was so nervous because I see so many people get their eyebrows microbladed, but you know, it's like your face. It fades over the course of 2 to 3 years, and I'm approaching like the 3-year mark, so it's faded quite a bit, but because I have really dry skin, the semi-permanent tattoo lasts longer. If you have really oily skin, your skin turns over quicker, which means that the tattoo fades. Next, I'm using the Fenty concealer, and I'm doing a little bit under my eyes. And I used to set my makeup with powder, but honestly the Fenty makeup, it sets so well on its own, like all her liquid product. Really dry skin, so powder on my face just doesn't work. So now that my base is done, I am going to go in, and I actually, okay, even though I have my eyebrows done, I still go in and do my eyebrows anyways, because I just like a really kind of bold brow. Recently, I got this new brow product. I just started using the Honest Beauty brow pencil, and I usually do my eyebrows really dark, and I like to use like the Anastasia dip brow. Kind of into like the lighter eyebrow look. That's what my eyebrows look like with no product, just my microblading or like shadowing. Just kind of fill in a little bit where the tattoo has faded. And my left brow is always harder to do than my right one. It never wants to. Don't you love when like you get your eyebrows correct? Like that's just, like, you know, the rest of the makeup look's gonna be good if you get the eyebrows done. Now, this is my absolute favorite eyeshadow palette. This is the Naked, or the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette. Now, there's like 4 different versions of this palette, but this one's my favorite because it's all like pinky cherry tones. I like to take the color Juicy, which is like this peachy color, and I like to use it as a base. I have really small eyelids, so one thing that I like to do is just kind of take one color and just take it as high up to the brow bone as I can, without kind of going overboard. The same thing with this eye all the way up, and then I like to also take a little bit under the eye. Sorry, it's really hard talking and doing my makeup at the same time. While I'm doing this, let's talk about Crescent City, because I don't think we like fully went into detail about how amazing that book was. I know everyone kind of had mixed reviews. I loved it, you guys. I'm gonna take this like sparkly pink color and put it on my lids, and then like where my like tear duct is under the eye as well. I read Crescent City all throughout March. I actually took like a full month to finish the book, and it was amazing. Like a diehard Sarah J Maas fan. So I already kind of had high expectations going into it, and she just killed it. There's a lot of the real world in there kind of mixed in with these real fantastical elements, but I think it just makes for such like, you can do so much with the plot when you have urban fantasy, because you can use real world stuff and fantasy stuff. I love that the main character of this book wasn't the chosen one. I think Elias was the one who originally told me. He's like, yeah, the main character of the book, she's not like any of the other characters that Sarah J Maas usually writes, where they have like this incredible power. Our main character Bryce was just like this normal girl, and she's so like, she's not perfect at all, and she knows that she's not perfect, and she doesn't try to be perfect. You know how sometimes main characters, they're like, oh, I just gotta be perfect, I gotta do everything right. We get these heroes that just have this sort of perfectionist nature, and because of that they do things that they think are morally right, and they end up almost like doing things that are wrong because they just have such a perfect ideal of what is right and wrong. Our main character is like the total opposite. She was like doing drugs and like just all, you know, sleeping with all sorts of people, and you know, she was just Bryce. And I love that she was kind of thrusted into this whole plot of you know, trying to solve this murder. And you guys know me, I love murder mystery books, so we got the real world with fantasy with like this murder mystery, and of course we got like the typical Sarah J Maas like male fairies. Also, my cousin read the book as well, which I had no idea, so we had like a full phone call just fangirling about it. Next, I'm gonna do my eyeliner, and I have the Stila micro line. You guys, if you have small eyelids like I do, or you know, kind of almondy eyes, my mom's Hawaiian and Filipino, so I kind of take after her when it comes to like the upper portion of my face. Highly recommend the Stila micro line because you can get a really thin line, because I swear if I use a regular eyeliner, I'll do a line and it ends up taking up my whole eyelid because my eyelids are so tiny. That's something I used to be insecure about, but now I'm just like, you know, every feature of your face, every feature of your body, your hair, everything is a representation of like where you're from, right? Your culture, your ethnicity, and so you should be proud of it. Yeah, I like to take this and kind of just follow the shape of my eye. Sometimes I like to do a wing, but lately I've kind of just been doing just like a nice sort of natural little like, oh my god, I did it really good. Can you guys see the difference before, after? Now the difficult part is trying to match each side. Okay, so my eyeliner is done and I am slowly feeling more like myself. I feel like my eyes kind of disappear unless I have like eye makeup on. Next, I'm gonna just put a little bit of mascara. This is the Benefit They're Real mascara. I also recently stopped wearing false lashes because I noticed that they were kind of ripping out my natural lashes, which I didn't really have many to begin with. Oh my god, I love mascara, you guys. It's such a game changer, like especially for us small eyelid girls. Listen, eyeliner, you know, eyeliner and mascara makes such a big difference. Should we do contour? Sometimes I like to do a little contour. I have this Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette, and I like to kind of wear it on days when I just want to look a little snatched. The cheeks. Okay, so I think that's all I'm gonna do for contour. You guys honestly can't tell at all, but there's just a very subtle kind of, just a little bit. I don't like too much. You guys, this is my secret. Actually, it's not even that much of a secret. This is my favorite product of all times. A lot of you guys ask like what blush or highlight I use. You guys, the Fenty blush and highlight duo. This one is in the color Girl Next Door and Chic Preak. Just take this pinky color. Do you see that? I really hope the camera's picking this up. It's like, it's so subtle and like natural. It just looks like a natural kind of flush. And it's not too dark either. See, okay, this is with the kilowatt, without it. Without. Ugh, I'm such like, okay, I say like I'm not into makeup, but like I totally am. So then I like to just take some on the apples of the cheeks. Shout out to all the chubby cheek gals. I've learned to just embrace it. Also kind of just dust whatever's left on my nose. I don't contour my nose just because, I don't know, I can never do the nose contour right, so I just don't even try. To put a little bit on the Cupid's bow. I think it looks really nice if you have like, if you're gonna do a bold lip. You can even dust a little on the forehead. And then also the chin too. I like to go in and just kind of put my excess. I just put this everywhere. Just put it all over your face. It'll give you just a nice like overall glow. And then I like to take the lighter shade, and this one is kind of light, so I just like to go and do like a highlight with this one. Kind of just normally where you would put highlight, which is just on the top of the cheeks. I have the Honest Beauty blush, which is really pretty. This is in the color Flirty. And sometimes I like to kind of just pop this on my cheeks too. I guess I'll do it today. And it just kind of gives a more peachy color, which I love. I don't know if you can tell, like I love peachy tones. I think that's what looks best on my skin. Take this peachy one and then kind of just go over just at the very tops of my cheeks. And kind of bring the color up to the temples. You guys can tell, so yeah, very subtle, but just like a nice little glow there. Okay, so we're almost done, you guys. I think I'm gonna go for a kind of semi-bold lip today. I'm gonna show you my secret lip product, okay? This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip gloss in the color Saint Tropez. This is a rose gold color and it is so pretty, you guys. I'm gonna take this fuchsia lip pencil and it's in the color Fuchsia. And it's the Milani brand. You guys, these are amazing. They're only like $3, and if you guys want that sort of a lipstick look but you want the lipstick to stay on, I highly recommend using a pencil. So I'm gonna use this and then put the gloss over it, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So here's my makeup look. So okay, this is my favorite part of the entire like makeup routine. Sorry, it's so hard to talk while I do this. Okay. Sorry, I'm just like staring at the screen. Okay, I think I got it all in. The Cupid's bow is the hardest part. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Ta-da! Now, Naya Reads and Smiles has emerged with no dark circles. Okay, so before we get back into Dark Dawn, because I did all this just to sit back in bed and finish this book. Today, I'm so excited to say that I have a sponsor. Before we keep going, today's video is so kindly sponsored by my friends over at Skillshare. You guys know I talk about them all the time. They are one of the best websites online, and I genuinely really love what they're doing and how they're pushing education, self-education. Skillshare is a wonderful online learning community for creatives. It's a place where millions of people can come together to take the next step in their creative journey. They have quite literally thousands of videos on every topic, my favorite being film, but they have everything from illustration to graphic design, photography, videography, art, business, entrepreneurship, freelancing. Literally the list is endless. They have just about every topic, every hobby you can think of. One of my personal favorite classes that they have is called Storytelling 101, Character, Conflict, Context, and Craft, and it basically breaks down the storytelling process. I recommend this video every time I work with Skillshare because it's a really awesome video. If you guys want to better your skills or pick up new skills, they have classes ranging from beginner to advanced. So if you're just starting off, you know absolutely nothing, they have classes for you. And if you're someone who's been working in photography for a while, if you've been doing videography videography for a little bit like me. They have more intermediate to advanced classes as well. What's really cool now is that the classes have video lessons and class projects, so it really feels like an interactive experience. A premium membership is less than $10 a month, so definitely check it out. Skillshare was so kind to give me a link to share with you guys, so there's going to be a link in the description box. So the first 500 people to click and sign up will get 2 months for free. All right, now back to Dark Dawn. I don't know if I'm going to finish this book in this vlog, but I'm going to get as close to the ending as possible. I lied. This is a 2-day vlog. I did read last night, but I only read like 25 pages. Desk chair. Have a little unboxing, and thank you so much to Book Outlet. If you guys don't know, I'm a vlogger friend with Book Outlet, so there'll be a link down below if you want to check out all these books. Oh my god, okay. Most things from Book Outlet aren't actually books. Not that I need any more of these, but I got 2 new journals. I couldn't help it, you guys, okay? When I see a cute journal, I gotta get it. First journal here is a fabric bound journal, and it's a beautiful red floral color, and it's not too thick. And the second journal here is so cool, you guys. I actually saw this and wanted to use it to start keeping track of the books that I'm reading, and if you can see, it's a bunch of book spines. The next book I have is The 13th Tale by Diana Setterfield. Now, I read the synopsis for this and was immediately taken by it. This book follows a very world-renowned writer. She writes, I'm not sure if they're children's stories or they're just like novels, but they're basically 12 of them. There's 12 tales that she's written. She has yet to write the 13th tale out of her 12 tale series that she's been writing all of her life. She ends up meeting this woman who is a biographer, and she's finally ready to open up and tell her real story of what actually happened to her in her childhood and growing up, and what was the sort of traumatic events that inspired these, you know, fantastical stories that she sort of escaped into and wrote. No one really knows who she is or where she, where these stories came from and what her inspiration was. And so finally, kind of coming towards the end of her life, I'm not sure if she's gonna die or anything, but she finally decides to open up to a biographer and tell her story. I've heard amazing things about this book, specifically the writing style is supposed to be really great, so I'm very much looking forward to reading this one. Okay, this next book I got here because the plot kind of reminded me of, sounded a bit like one of my new favorite historical fiction novels, which is The Great Alone. This was one that I read last year. You guys hear me talk about it all the time because I love it. Wolf Winter by Cecilia Ekbach. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. The cover is freaking amazing. Like, look at this cover, you guys. It says here that this book takes place in Swedish Lapland in 1717, so it's a pretty historical fiction. Following our main character named Maja, and she has a husband and 2 daughters, and she decides to move from her native homeland, which is Finland, to Sweden. She has some trauma that she's escaping, which is why she decides to completely move to a different country and just put down new roots. It's like a fresh start for her. As soon as they move there, though, there is a woman who is murdered. Her body is found, and it's determined that a wolf killed her. While herding the family's goats on the mountain, Maja's elder daughter, Frederica, stumbles across a mutilated body of one of their neighbors. So the community dismisses the death as a wolf attack, but Maja feels certain it was murder. Central plot of the story, and kind of like The Great Alone, we're kind of following this family as they're living there their first year, and as winter approaches, which I imagine is pretty intense in Sweden, this whole murder thing just kind of escalates, and there's also that just fear of, are they going to survive the winter? This is their first time, living in this new environment. It sounds amazing, and I wanted to pick up another historical fiction novel, so I'm really excited to read this one. The next book I have here is one I read when I was 13 years old, and I saw the cover and was flipping out because, have you guys ever read a book when you were younger and then you got older and were trying to remember what that book was? So many books from the library that oh my god, there's so many series that I remember, but I don't remember the author or the title because I read them so young. This is one of those books I read when I was younger that was absolutely amazing, and I saw the cover and immediately it took me back to like 13 my 13-year-old self. 13 Treasures by Michele Harrison. Now this is a fairy book. I'm not sure if this is middle grade. I remember it kind of reading like a YA book, but then again, I read it quite a while ago. Essentially, we're following our main character and she can see fairies, and it's become such a problem that her mother sends her to her grandmother's house, who lives kind of in this mansion or like this old Victorian house deep into the woods. When she goes to live with the grandmother, I think it's over the summer, she starts seeing fairies everywhere, and she realizes like her grandmother lives in the heart of the fairy realm. This fairy book was quite dark. Like all the fairies like kind of like attack her, and she's kind of fearful of them. She goes to live with her grandmother. She realizes that in that town a girl disappeared 50 years ago, and she learns that that girl actually disappeared into the fairy realm, and now she's worried that she might disappear into the fairy realm because she keeps like being taken there at night. A little bit dark, but also really cool, and it kind of is of the same energy as Spiderwick, if you guys remember the Spiderwick Chronicles by Holly Black. Anyways, I'm happy to have this for my collection again, and definitely plan on rereading it because there's 2 other books that I didn't even know came out. The next book I have here is Daughter of Moloch by Alan Brennert. Now this is the sequel to Moloch by Alan Brennert. It's a book that I'm currently reading. It is on my TBR shelf if you guys just recently watched my TBR shelf tour. So this book actually takes place where I'm from. I'm from Hawaii, specifically on the island of Moloch, and this is the follow-up book to that book, and we're following actually a different character, and I'm not even sure if she lives in Hawaii. Yeah, but I saw that the sequel was on Book Outlet, and I decided to pick it up because I definitely want to continue with this series after I finish Moloch. And last but not least, I have Ghost of the Shadow Market by Cassandra Clare. You guys, I'm officially 2 Cassandra Clare books behind. I have Chain of Gold, which just came out, and then Ghost of the Shadow Market came out a few months ago, I think, right? They had this on Book Outlet, I think for like 10 bucks, and it's originally $20, so I definitely had to pick it up. I don't know if I need to read Ghost of the Shadow Market before Chain of Gold. I think this is following the Dark Artifices series and not the Chain of Gold series, which is separate, right? I think. I actually had 2 more little books here. DC Comics sent me another comic, and this is Melissa De La Cruz's Gotham High. So I guess this takes place in the Batman world. It takes place in Gotham City, and we're following a school of misfits, and it sounds really fun. I love anything that takes place in Gotham City. A little book here that I ordered, it's called Brain Bytes. This is actually a non-fiction book, and it kind of just has little fun, quirky facts about the brain. So questions that you may have wondered, it has answers to. So for example, the questions here that it has an answer for, it says, can memories be erased? I love, like, you guys, I don't think I talk about it much, but I do read quite a bit of nonfiction. I just don't really talk about it too much on my channel. Okay, so I am going to read Dark Dawn for another hour or so. I'm gonna actually go over to my dad's house today and just kind of say hi to my little sister and hang out with my older sister who is, you know, in town for a little while. My goal is to read at least another 100 pages before I go over to my dad's house. Hey guys! So I officially have just 100 pages left of Dark Dawn. I am putting off the very last ending. I'm gonna go over my dad's house now, so I think I'm gonna end my vlog here. Right now, my final thoughts of Dark Dawn, based off where I am, like I said, I'm almost done with it. The second half of the book definitely took a turn from the beginning of the book. The beginning of the book picked up exactly where God's Grave left off, which was awesome. And kind of like I said earlier, there was that whole situation with like the people coming back from the dead, and that was kind of frustrating me a little bit. You know what, I think Jay Kristoff did a really smart job with why he brought certain people back, and it wasn't just like, let's just bring them back for the sake of it. No, it was definitely tactical and plotted out, and I think Jay Kristoff puts a lot of detail into his books, and especially his plot lines. You can tell he spends a lot of time plotting it out. Very much enjoying it. I think out of all 3 of the books in the series so far, my favorite, oh my god, I feel like it's unfair to say like the first book is my favorite. I think God's Grave is my favorite out of all 3 books so far. Nevernight was awesome. God's Grave, it's like I felt more familiar with the world, because the biggest thing with the first book was just like learning everything about the world. Literally, Jay Kristoff puts so much detail. He has footnotes in his books. That's how much detail he has, which is amazing, but it takes a little bit to kind of digest and to kind of build the world in your head. So by the time I got to God's Grave, I was so familiar with the world, and it was just so much easier reading it. I didn't have to like flip back to the map in the beginning of the book so much. Until next time, keep reading, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!